Hi and welcome to another video from Amali Gardens. Just going to do a quick update on what's been going on, what's been growing, what's been producing, and hope you enjoyed the video. Here we go. Starting with what's been going on in the pots. Strawberries have been doing okay, not producing a whole lot, but we've been getting some small strawberries here and there, but that's cool. Got some shadow benny, so-called culantro. And that's the shadow benny right there. I got 3 of them from Patuxent Gardens, and got my chives going there. Next to my culantro is some cilantro and cilantro in the same pot. And over here I have some more chives, and I have a garlic in there as well. That hopefully that's going. And next to that is some parsley, and of course that's my mint box right here. Look at this basil plant; it is just doing incredible, as is the pineapple, and unfortunately the basil is shadowing out that pineapple in there, but we're gonna see how we can rectify that. I started some celery inside, and I put them in this pot outside, and I want to see how they're gonna do. One of them doesn't seem to be doing that well. It seems like it's having not so good of a reaction to the sun, and that one may not survive, but the other 3 seem to be doing pretty good so far. Now this pumpkin vine is growing around here, and it has some small pumpkins on it. That one's not looking too good. It's looking kind of that one is looking pretty good. But one thing I realized is I'm using this is the first time I'm using grow bags, and this is an experience where I realized I cannot grow pumpkins in a grow bag. It's not the best option. Pumpkins, I guess, would have to go into beds, but I think they dry out too fast. The pumpkins are heavy feeders, as well as need a lot of water. And with the grow bags, the fabric doesn't hold moisture a whole lot, so it dries out very rapidly. And it could also be a factor of the mixture of the soil that I have in these bags, because this one seems very not so dry, but those with the pumpkin seem pretty dry. So that's one lesson learned. Next year I won't be growing pumpkins in a grow bag. This is that volunteer that I had a while back that I got out of the compost that I thought was a tomato. Turns out I don't think it's a tomato. It flowered and it produced some fruit, and the fruit is not tomato. Let me see if I can go on the other side and see what it is. There's the zucchini and squash growing right in there. And here's another cucumber, and I'll talk about cucumbers later, but I think this is also the same thing as that, I think. But I'll show you the fruit that grew on it. That's the fruit right there. And I doubt that's a tomato. I doubt. But we'll see what it turns into. I'm beginning to think that it's some sort of a potato maybe, and not a tomato. So that's what's been going on with the pots down here on the garden bed. So let's go over here to this bed right here. The melons are beginning to grow really good, beginning to put out blossoms. So we're going to see if we can get some cantaloupes. I guess we call them melons also. I harvested all of the cabbage, and those have been shredded and in the refrigerator to be cooked. In place of those, there's some, I left the roots in there, so some of the roots are springing back. So we'll see what happens with that. Also, I put in a couple more peppers that were growing up on the deck. So we'll see how those turn out. And the Swiss chard, and of course my nasturtiums are, you can see the lettuce have bolted. They've bolted, so time to get rid of those. I have a friend who raises chickens, so I'm going to take the sorry for the background noise. I think my neighbor is cutting his lawn, but yeah, I'm going to have to take these lettuce out and give it to him so he can feed them to his chickens. This is my cucumber tower. I grow my cucumbers on a trellis setup. The rusty one is the one that I made last year. I made these new ones this year, but man, have we been harvesting cucumbers. I mean, like crazy. Cucumbers up the wazoo. I mean, lots and lots of cucumbers. I'm also pretty excited about here are some more peppers that I have here that are doing pretty good. That one back there is a hot cayenne pepper. So I'm pretty excited to see what happens with those. Here are my eggplant. This is my eggplant patch, and I have one eggplant there and another one down there. So looks like I'm going to get some eggplant this year. The watermelon is beginning to run crazy, so it's even beginning to run over into the potatoes. And I think those potatoes, like you can see from previous videos, they have died back quite a bit. The greenery has, given away. So I think those are going to be ready to pull and dig the potatoes probably in the next couple weeks. Here's the bed with the okra, the peppers, and the tomatoes. The okra plants have sprung up a whole lot in the past few days, and the peppers are doing really good. But I want to go around here and show you what's going on with the tomatoes. My goodness. I've had to put on the net because as the tomatoes are beginning to ripe, of course the birds are going to be attracted to it. So I used this net effectively last year, and we're going to see how effective it is this year with keeping the birds from eating my tomatoes. I don't really need to cover the sides. It seems like the birds don't really like coming down under the net with the risk of getting caught, so they don't really bother it once I have the net over it. If I do see some of the tomatoes getting pecked at, then I may have to pull down the sides and kind of pin them, so we'll see. But yeah, we have an abundance of tomatoes. I mean, tomatoes like crazy. Oh, wow, it's incredible how much tomatoes are on this tree. And then the cherry tomatoes are also producing. You can see some in there. And so are the Roma. The Roma are producing like crazy also. I mean, just tomatoes all over. It's just more tomatoes than we will be able to eat. So we'll be blessing some friends with some tomatoes as we've been blessing some with some cucumbers. But yeah, even the peppers are beginning to produce. So here's the pepper plant with a few peppers on it. So that's been going really good. So excited about that as well. Wanted to come back around and show you the zucchini and pepper plant. Sorry, zucchini and squash. It's producing. Hopefully I get some fruit off of it. Hopefully this year, I don't get hit by the squash vine borer pest like I did last year, which devastated and I had said I wasn't going to grow any squash or zucchini this year, but I wanted to give it one more try, and I only did 2 plants just to see. And in these plants, what I'm also doing, I have the tomato slips that I grew from inside. I just stuck them down in the pot here and there. There's some, and then I put these two. These are 2 different potatoes. Both are sweet potato. One is a Caribbean sweet potato, which is a boniato, and the boniato is in there. And also I have another boniato in here that's really growing rapidly and doing well. So excited to see how that turns out. It's actually in this pot right here, this big black pot. And I have some more potato slips over here. I have one that I stuck inside there, and then I also have another one right here in here with this pumpkin. So we're gonna see how those do, and let this be a learning experience so we can be more effective, more efficient come next year. Now up here on the deck, the herbs are doing really good. There's the oregano growing like crazy, and some more basil up here in this ledge pot. I need to find some other stuff to put in this pot. That onion looks like it's gonna be kind of big. I definitely need to find something to do with this pot now that the spinach are basically done and are bolting. So I need to find something to grow in there. It's a really good location. So you have the lavender and your citronella and mint and catnip and everything. They're doing good. Oh, you saw the hammock, that that's on now on the deck. That was a Father's Day gift from my wife and kids. Really appreciate it. Really great gift. Really enjoy hanging out here in the hammock. But there are the plants. They're doing pretty good. Doing good. French thyme and stevia, as well as the moringa and the other moringa and the lemongrass. So that's what's been going on in Amali Gardens. Pretty satisfied with how this year has been going. So we're gonna keep going, and if you guys have any suggestions or any ideas, anything that you'd like to see done, anything I should grow, leave a comment and subscribe, and stay tuned for our next video. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of the evening from Amali Gardens.